picture this. You're in speaking test room, in front of your speaking test examiner, and you ask the question. You give a one-sentence response and your mind goes black. Isn't it not on you to continue, but you don't have anything more to say? What can be more scary than that happening on your speaking test day? The truth is, many test takers are not scoring low because their English is poor. They have good English. They speak well, but they're only losing valuable points simply because they have not mastered the art of expanding their answers during their speaking test. That's why today I'm so excited to share with you 4 tips that can transform your brief responses into impressive, detailed answers that your examiners will love. Before we go into the how, let's look at the why. Why do we need to expand our answers in the speaking test? There are 3 key benefits to expanding your answers that I will always emphasize. First, longer responses gives you more opportunity to showcase your vocabulary. Second, you can demonstrate your mastery of complex grammar structures. And thirdly, detailed answers prove your ability to speak fluently. Brief answers will always limit your band score in the IELTS speaking test. Now we know why. Let's see how we can get that done. Before we proceed, if you see my face for the first time, my name is Effia Kibi, a one-time art originator with British Council of Nigeria. And here in my channel, I share with you tips and tricks to help you excel in the test day. The first tip we'll be looking at today is the PREP formula. P-R-E-P. What does PREP mean? P stands for point, your opinion. R, reason. The reason to support your opinion or your point. And then an example. E stands for example. Then P for personalize. PREP is a foolproof method to structure longer answers, especially in part 3 of the speaking test. Now let's break this down with a speaking question. Do you prefer watching movies at home or in the cinema? A short answer would be, I prefer watching movies at home. That is it, band 5. My subscribers do not do that. But now let's see an expanded answer using the PREP formula. I definitely prefer watching movies at home, mainly because it is more comfortable and affordable. For example, I can wear my pajamas, pause the movie anytime, and avoid crowded spaces. In fact, last weekend I watched a thriller at home with my family, and we had a blast discussing the characters. We gave our points. We liked watching movies at home. We gave the reason, because it's affordable and comfortable. We gave an example. Last weekend, you watched a movie. With this, you can transform your basic response into engaging stories by connecting the topic to your personal experience. You see, what about personal experiences? Giving personal examples. We didn't speak for long because it happens to us. We experienced it. We were not told. We did it in a book. It happened to us. So whenever you come to give an example in the speaking test, and you have a personal experience, it's important, it's good. Use that. There's another way we can use this PREP formula. If you don't have any examples to give, that's fine. You can give results. You can give outcomes or what you've achieved. Let's see how it plays out with this question. Do you think exercise is important? For a short answer to be yes, it's good for your health. But an expanded answer is like this. I strongly believe exercise is crucial for both physical and mental health. It helps to reduce stress, improve focus, and boost energy levels. For example, I go jogging every morning, and it's a positive tone for my entire day. As a result, I feel more productive and less anxious, even during busy days. So you reverted a result or an outcome or something we achieved into our PREP formula. Let's take this question. Should children learn a second language? Let's see an expanded answer. I think children should definitely learn a second language. Not only improves cognitive skills, but also opens up more opportunities. For instance, my niece started learning Spanish in primary school, and now she can communicate fluently with her Spanish-speaking friends. As a result, she is more confident and even considering studying abroad. So you can use personalized examples, or you can state results, outcomes, or achievements. Let's move on to the second tip. We can use stating our speaking answers, which would be the use of linking words. I think this is my favorite. What are linking words? Linking words are also called transition words or connectors. They are words that help us to connect ideas and sentences when speaking or writing. These linking words are essential for making the IELTS speaking answers more coherent, more fluent, and more sophisticated. Let's give some examples of some linking words. Moreover, however, in addition, furthermore, as a result. On the other hand, nevertheless, in fact, there are a whole lot of examples of linking words. And to help you in your exploration, I have compiled 50 linking words detailing what they mean, when to use, how to use them, when to use them, and an example of them being in a sentence. It will be linked in the description box below. They are for only my subscribers. No, I'm just kidding. Anyone can go there and download them in the description box. So now let's take an example of how we can use the linking words in expanding our answers in the speaking test. Let's take this question. Do you think people should work from home or in an office? A short answer will be, I think people should work in the office so they can be focused on their jobs. For an expanded answer using linking words would go like this. I think both options have their advantages. Working from home is convenient because it saves time and money on commuting. Moreover, it allows for a better work-life balance. However, working in an office can be more productive due to fewer distractions. For example, I find it easier to focus in an office environment. On the other hand, remote work is ideal for people who need flexibility. Therefore, the best option depends on the individual's needs. We have over 5 linking words in this answer. We have moreover, however, for example, on the other hand, therefore. So this is why you use linking words in your speaking test. Let me share a personal experience on what happened during my speaking test in 2019. In my part 2 question, I was asked, my question was about exercise. Tell me about an exercise you do frequently. Honestly, in 2019, I was very skinny. I was not doing any exercise. I don't do exercise. And yeah, I was being asked to talk about an exercise I do frequently. This that came to my mind was skipping, because we have, as young people, we play with ropes and try to do some skipping, and that's what came to my mind first. And I started by saying, exercise I do frequently is skipping. It is done with a rope. I do over 20 jumps. And so, I got stuck because, it's not something I do every day. So I got stuck. And I remembered swimming. I said, oh, yes. I switched to swimming and I said, in addition to skipping, I also do some swimming. I spoke for a while about swimming and I got stuck again. I remembered, oh, people go to the gym and they lift some weights. And I said, furthermore, I also visit the gym regularly. And this was how I used linking words to link edges that were coming to my head at that moment to answer my part 2 question that I was not familiar with. So, it's important to practice these strategies in expanding your answers because you don't know when and how they might come and save you. Moving on to the third strategy, it's called the comparison technique. Here, you contrast different viewpoints or situations to add depth to your answers and naturally extend your answers. How do you use this technique? You can compare past versus present, or past versus present versus future, depending on how you want to use it. But you can use this technique to highlight similarities and differences. Let's take an example so you see how it is being used. The question is, do you enjoy cooking? A short answer would be yes, I do. I love to cook. But we don't do that here. We are band 8, band 9, band 8.5 people. Our expected answer using the comparison technique would be like this. I recently started enjoying cooking. In the past, I hated it because I found it time consuming. But now, I follow quick recipes from YouTube. For example, last night I made a 20 minutes pasta dish that turned out amazing. Moving on, I'm going to purchase a recipe book so I can continuously make delicious dishes for my family. Did you see how we use the past? I hated cooking currently, but now I watch YouTube videos. I'm moving on in the future. I'm going to buy a recipe book. Now, moving on to the last and the fourth strategy. But before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share to those who are taking the higher stairs, and to all my wonderful subscribers. Thank you so much. The fourth technique will be using conditional statements. What are conditional statements? They are used to express possibilities or hypothetical situations. This technique involves using words like if, what if, unless, provided that. They can help to add depth and complexity to your answers. When using hypothetical situations, they can also help to demonstrate advanced grammar, critical thinking, and extend your response. You want to see how this is used in a sentence? Of course you do. The question is, should children have smartphones? Should children have smartphones? A short answer would be no. It's distracting. They should wait till when they are teenagers. But the expanded answer using the conditional technique would sound like this. I think it depends. If children use smartphones for learning apps or staying safe, then it's great. However, if they spend hours on social media, it could harm their mental health. For example, my cousin's grade improved when she used her phone for online courses, but her brother became addicted to games. So we use the conditional sentence there, if. You can also use this technique when you are faced with difficult questions. Let's take an example of what a difficult question might look like. In your part 2, when you're given your cue card, you have to speak for 2 minutes, and your question is this. Describe a vacation you have been to in the past. You should say where you traveled to, what you did there, and who accompanied you on this vacation. And also explain why this vacation was special to you. If you're someone like me that has never been on a vacation, what will you say? I have never been on a vacation except to the village. And I was much younger. If that counts for a vacation. But now, seriously speaking, you've never been on a vacation in your house, but question, what would you do? You would have to formulate a vacation in your head and answer the question. I had a meeting with someone last week, and when you told her to do this, she said, I'm sorry, I cannot lie. I'm not asking you to lie. I'm saying, go into your imagination and imagine it's happening and say it. If you are faced with this in the speaking test, you won't say, not be on a vacation. And I cannot lie. You're not going to do that. So we should learn to formulate answers. But I don't think it's lying. If you think it's lying, leave it in your comment section. To me, it's not lying. For example, I would say, honestly, I've never been on a vacation. But if I were to choose a destination for a vacation today, it would be City of Love. I look forward to spending quality time with my spouse. And I also look forward to taking pictures in the Eiffel Tower. I have seen a lot of pictures about this on social media, and I can't wait to experience it myself. In addition, I have heard a lot about the perfumes in Paris. I would love to purchase a lot when I'm coming back. And the food, oh my god. a blogger I follow on TikTok can't stop ranting about the food in Paris. So I'll also be trying lots of their foods as well. I have never been to Paris. But yeah, I'm saying if I were to go to Paris, this is why you can use this technique to create hypothetical scenarios. For example, thinking about a gift you received for your birthday. If you received a gift for your birthday, what would you do? Thinking about a book you've read. You don't read books. If I were to read a book today, it would be this. And when you get stuck, talk about another book. When you get stuck, talk about any other book and move on. Create hypothetical scenarios to answer difficult questions. Before you go, let's practice what we just learned. For a recap, deploy formula, using thinking words, using the comparison technique, and using conditional statements. So let's see what you come up with this question. The question is, do you think studying abroad is beneficial? Short answer, yes, it's beneficial. It's good. Let me see what your extended answer will be in the comment section. And to help you further, I have created a worksheet, the IELTS Speaking Extension Worksheet, with 50 practice questions for you to practice and expand the answers in the question in the worksheet. And you can download it in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Then check out my last video on the 5 mistakes you're to avoid during speaking tests. And root it for you. Good luck in the IELTS tests.